Hi everybody, welcome to the Hair Loss Show. I'm Dr. Russell Knudsen.
And I'm Dr. Vikram Jayaprakash.
Today's topic for you is going to be, what's the best medication?
Welcome to the Hair Loss Show. Dr. Russell Knudsen and Dr. Vikram Jayaprakash discuss issues relating to hair loss and the medical and surgical treatment of hair loss in both men and women.
So this is a question for every one of the patients who come in to see us. Says, well, what do you think is the best medication for me?
And is there a best medication out there? And I think the fundamental answer is no. There's not one in the terms of the hierarchy of effectiveness. What's the better of all options? I think in essence the key there is what is patient specific. What will that person take? Will they be able to tolerate it, and what works best for that individual? Because not everything works well in everyone. Right, so Some people are genetically primed that they tolerate one type of medication better.
That's right. And I think the thing is that you know, there are target-specific medicines and there are general therapy medicines. So target-specific meaning enzyme blocking or receptor blocking, and general medications meaning stimulation medications, of which the primary example we use these days is minoxidil, but laser fits into that, platelet-rich plasma fits into general stimulation, microneedling fits into general stimulation. So these are general ones, and that's often where patients start.
Yes.
So I would say that 80% of the patients who come to me that are already on medication have started on minoxidil. And that just seems to be a kind of an entry level that they're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And now they don't always think that it's a great outcome for them. And as I explained to them, general stimulation works reasonably well in the early stages. It doesn't work very well in the later stages. But it brings us to answer the question, which is like, what's the best medication? Well, it's something you're prepared to take.
Yes.
To start with.
Yeah, absolutely. Because nothing is without side effects. Nothing is without problems. You've got to have a balanced view and be able to have make an informed decision about, well, am I willing to take this medication? Because essentially it's going to be long term.
A very big part of my consultations and yours is trying to answer objections to patients for what they read on the internet, because it's a fact of human psychology that if you are happy about something, you don't necessarily tell everybody about it on the internet. But if you've had a bad experience or you're unhappy with something, there's plenty of people that are willing to tell you about it on the internet. So you get a kind of a biased view of what's going on. So patients can come in and say to me, oh, I won't take finasteride because everybody gets sexual side effects.
Yes.
And I'm going, if everybody got sexual side effects, I'd never be able to write a script. Right? That's not what's going on here. That's the people, you're talking to the small percentage of people that get the side effects, who are going to talk about it on the discussion boards, and are going to, tell everybody how dangerous this drug is. And the reality is, finasteride has been the single biggest boon to balding men in the last 25 years.
And you can speak to this more than most, certainly more than me, because you.
Are you getting ageist with me about this?
No. It's experience. It's the wisdom I'm talking about, which is that you've practiced in that era before you had it, and you've had to manage all the fallout from not being of operating on people without the backup of these medications.
When I started in hair transplantation, minoxidil didn't exist as a treatment. Right, that was early on in my career that minoxidil became a treatment, and I participated in the original trials in Australia on it, and that was a boon. That because the deal I made with the patients before that is you lose some, we give you some, you lose some more, we give you some more, you lose some more, we give you some more. So we play catch up. And it wasn't unusual for people to come back for top-ups every 12, 18, 24 months. These days it's quite unusual. Normally, because most of our patients are willing to medicate, it's more like a 5 to 10 year interval between surgery, and that's good for the patient and good for us. Because we don't want to be operating people every year. There's only a limited amount of donor they got, and if you've got a young man in front of you, you need to have stuff in the bank.
Yes.
and just in case in future. So you don't want to be operating every year on them. So it's very important, and this is what we do in our consultations. We try and answer objections, but at the end of the day, it still comes down to what you're prepared to do to start with. And so if people come in on minoxidil, for example, and I can convince them to add, for example, as a man's, convince them to add some finasteride to it, then that's what I'll do. Particularly if they've been on minoxidil for long enough for it to have exhibited an effect. But if they're not willing to take the finasteride, then I'll have to take that on the chin and say, well, okay, well, this is the figures for what you should expect over time, but I respect your decision not to take it, but we'll have to adjust the plan around it.
And we don't push medication to people. We can only sort of recommend and give them the data and the information so that they can make an informed decision. But it's not something that we're sort of necessarily going, oh, if you're losing hair, you have to be on finasteride or you have to be taking minoxidil regularly. I think it's important, and from you, it is part of our consultation. We sort of try and educate the patient so that they know what are the consequences of each scenario that they may think about undertaking, whether or not it's medication or not.
Yeah, there's two parts to it. There's the patient education part of it, but there's also the customization part.
Yes.
And so, again,
I love that. That's really, really important.
Because I look at this with the patients, and if they're coming with aggressive balding, meaning they've lost a lot of hair at a young age, I'm going to explain to them the consequences of going softly. They need to go harder at it. But also, it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. So, for example, if a patient says, look, I'm a bit scared of finasteride, I prefer to take it topically first to see if I reacted. I might be prepared to take it orally later. Then that's the way we'll go. Or if they say, I might be prepared to take it twice a week, but I don't want to take it 3, 4, 5 times a week, then that's the way we'll go, because a little bit of something in the system is better than nothing in the system.
Yes.
So I work with the patient to find what level of acceptance they have for the suggestions that we give them. And then they say, well, what should I do? And I'm saying, well, it's not what you should do. Because that's not for me to tell you. It's what you're prepared to do. But these are your options, and these are the likely outcomes of taking these options.
And sometimes for some people, it is about we talked about customizing the dose. We don't know, looking at someone, what is the specific dose for that individual. Is it 1.2 or 1.35 milligram? We don't know. All we can do is try and see and hope for stability and make sure that on the other side that they don't have any side effects from that.
Which is why we start lower.
Yes.
To see that they're tolerating, and then if we feel that we need to increase it, we increase it once they've got the confidence and we've got the confidence that we're not creating side
and I
effects.
think that's important, because I've also experienced, I'm sure you have as well, there where some patients just need that experience of dipping their toe in the water, so to speak. It's not, we know that taking a particular dose is unlikely to have a significant benefit in terms of stabilizing the hair loss. But if it can give them the confidence, all right, I've taken this dose, haven't had any side effects, I'm happy to build up gradually and find that
It's important. People talk about a placebo response, which means that you give them something that really has nothing in it, but they feel it works for them, and that's where a lot of over-the-counter products sit. Yes. I would argue, in the placebo range. But the opposite part of that is that there are people that if they fear the side effect is going to exist, then it will exist for them.
Yes.
And in the original trials for finasteride, there was only a 0.5% difference between the side effects reported in the finasteride side and in the placebo side. So because they had been asked the question about side effects, even though they weren't taking it, they went, oh yeah, you're right, I did experience that. So it was a really not much of a difference between the placebo response and the active response. So it's important that we give the patients confidence to take them and to tell them it's highly unlikely that you're going to get the side effect. But even if you did, your body, A, could adjust to it if you kept going, or we just stop, wait for you to recover, come back at a lower dose. And I've got away with so many patients that reacted at a certain level, but we were able to bring it back in at a lower level.
Yeah.
And they were able to tolerate the medicine without side effects, but to get a significant benefit.
Yeah. And that's the value of trying to customize the dose in an individual. But it's not something that you can do off the cuff, or it's not something that you can assess.
I can't see someone walk in and pick, oh, you've got to go at this
exactly.
level.
It's something you've got to try and work with the patient, make sure that they're happy with the whole concept, and then carry them through that
And
journey.
the one other thing that I would address in this is the misconception for a lot of patients about what works and doesn't work. When they come in and tell you, oh, I tried minoxidil, I tried finasteride, it didn't work. And I say to them, what do you mean it didn't work? And they said, well, I didn't get any better. And I said, well, how long did you use it for? And they said, oh, 12 months. And I said, fine. What happened when you stopped? Oh, it got worse. I said, well, it worked.
Yes.
It stopped you getting worse. You stopped the medication, you got worse. The other scenario that presents itself is people who anticipate a result in 2 to 3 months. There's nothing on the planet that works in 2 to 3 months for hair loss.
Certainly with the cyclical nature of hair growth.
Well, the hair that falls out today doesn't come back for 3 months.
Yes.
The growth cycle is typically 3 to 5 years. This is a very slow process that you've got to do. And so when you see products that are being sold out there promising results in 6 weeks, you're being sold a big fib that does not exist. There's nothing
Also,
that works.
products that regrow hair.
In 6 weeks.
What, I mean, just creating new...
Oh, yes, it's from a bald scalp.
Yes.
I would remind everybody that there's been no medication or treatment in existence yet that's taken a hair from less than 50% of its original quality back to healthy hair. So if you've got a peach fuzz, very, very miniaturized hair, you're going to get a bit more peach fuzz, and that's about it.
Yes, I think that's the underlying point of this conversation is that, a really point to highlight is that you can't break the laws of physics. You can't get something back from nothing.
You have to set realistic expectations as to what things can do. And if people understand that the principal benefit they're going to get at this stage of their balding is to stop it getting worse, and they're prepared to accept it, then that's a good outcome.
Yes. Good. I think that covers that. Thanks again for watching. I hope you found that useful. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you again on the next episode.
Bye for now.